Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I apologize for the Adidas box here, but we got someone sleeping in the box. Who's that? The boss. So the cat, very tired, a lot of activity today. So instead of having roaming around or, then sleeping in its box. That's good. So we have here two articles coming from the Russians, where we find out that Mohammed bin Salman, a guy that, good or bad, he's got big balls. Like Orban, like Peter Giarto, and like many others, like the Poles from Poland. The Poles used to have big balls, but now Mr. Donald Tusk shows up with his dingy-lingy marble ball. All right, so what's going on? As you know, the guy, the most evil guy on this planet, Mr. Putin, he visited Saudi Arabia yesterday, and he was received in Saudi Arabia in the United Arab Emirates with all those flybys and fantastic tra-la-lulu. Obviously, the free world, who is expected or expects to be received like Hollywood, like stars, they were not received in the same way, so they felt insulted for good reason, according to their and big ego. But that's not the reason of this video. The reason I'm making this video is to show you how Mr. MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, snubbed the West. How not only by receiving Putin with so much fanfare, but also cancelling a meeting in London for Putin. So MBS said, London, bye-bye, Putin is coming. Gone fishing, let's go, buddy. Now, if this would have happened the other way around, people would immediately realize, yes, MBS, yeah, he snubbed Putin. He received Biden. Yeah, because Biden is important. Biden is a priority. That's how these guys are. And the other guy is evil. And MBS is a fantastic guy. He knows who's good and who's bad. And we accepted him in the circle of friends, in the circle of friends. He's almost there. But now, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to suck or leak MBS's big... that's what they're going to do. So let's look at these two articles, and where obviously the Russians are celebrating. And the first one from Russia to today. It is from today, December 8th, 2023. MBS cancelled, past tense, UK trip before welcoming Putin. FT, right? So senior British MPs have described the reported move as a snub on Riyadh's part. How else would you qualify that as? This is Financial Times, I'm guessing. Saudi Arabia scrapped plans for Mohammed bin Salman to visit London earlier this month, days before he hosted Russian President Vladimir Putin in Riyadh, the Financial Times, yeah, right there. I'm not that dumb, am I? Reported on Friday, citing UK government officials. Anyone should know that should be your answer if it wasn't. Hey, Emil, take your medal off your chest or around your neck. Anyone knows that. My bad. But since I come from the woods and from the cave, that's a big achievement for my intelligence. London and Riyadh had been in negotiations about a potential visit of the Crown Prince, who is also known as MBS. Master BS, that's what he is. Master BS. For months already, UK officials said the two sides have been working towards December 3rd as a potential date, but the plans were abruptly shelved last week. Instead, MBS hosted Putin, that's how I'm going to call him, Master BS, Putin in Riyadh on Wednesday amid the Russian president's one-day tour of the region, his first trip to the Middle East since the beginning of the conflict with Ukraine in February 2022. Now, we have here senior UK officials and MPs were alarmed by the proximity of the Crown Prince visit to Britain, which was apparently cancelled, and Putin's Middle East tour, which was apparently cancelled, and Putin's Middle... It doesn't make sense. Anyway, former Tory leader Sir Ian Duncan Smith, or Lame, let's call it Lame, described the development to Financial Times as astonishing and the apparent postponement as a snub. Another senior Tory MP, Robert Courts, is it from the bank, the Courts Bank or whatever that is, court that took care of Nigel Farage and others? Courts, said the postponement of the visit is a concern because it suggests a UK diplomatic failure in the face of a coordinated diplomatic offensive by Putin. Give me the tea. Okay, too late. If you are so good at diplomacy, you sucked again. And I'm quoting, the UK should urgently review the resources and strategy behind its foreign and defense policy to prevent the slide of states towards our strategic competitors. Too late, my friends. So a lot of people are very upset, as you can tell by this article, and we have another one right here. Sputnik, boom, 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 Saudi Crown Prince shelved London visit prior to hosting Putin, reports. It's a party. Well, this guy got old, I can tell you that one. Obviously, 71. And this guy's like, oh, thank you for coming. Good. Now, Riyadh froze plans for Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's visit to the UK, given the scheduling proximity to President Putin's official trip to Saudi Arabia. The Financial Times reported on Friday, citing London officials. There you go. Saudi Arabia shelves plan. Okay, so I think we made the point here. What are the implications? The implications are that Mr. Master BS has balls, and he's not forgiving or forgetting. He's young. What? He's 38 or something? Something like that, 36, 38. Well, it's like Mr. Vivek Ramaswamy. Yay! So he's not going to forget or forgive. And he's a guy with, how should I put it euphemistically, strong convictions. And strong convictions together with big balls result in bold moves. Now, obviously, he was accused of doing this, doing that, and all that. And then, guess what? They accepted him admitted him in the circle of friends by Biden showing up over there, Blinken showing up over there, Jake Sullivan showing up over there. Then, obviously, the so-called peace process, blah, 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 Zelensky's garbage in Saudi Arabia. So he was reinstated. Master BS was reinstated as a guy with big balls. And right now, he said, yeah, you know what? I think I'm just gonna get Putin because I think he is my priority. I personally, maybe you guys remember, I remember Russia having a big problem with Saudi Arabia. I know it was a report when Russia had some problems with Chechnya, a second Chechen war, when allegedly Putin threatened Saudi Arabia with nuclear weapons, like they're gonna hit it, Riyadh, if Riyadh sponsors. That was the report. I don't know if it was true or not, but it was at that time, 15 years ago, something like that. And supposedly Putin said, if you guys are still helping the guys in Chechnya, we're gonna destroy you with nuclear weapons. I don't know if that was the fact, but nevertheless. But that's the worst that I've known about these guys. I know Saudi Arabia was the lapdog of United States of America, and then little by little, the diplomacy of the US took a dump, and that's it. As I said, the US has in its diplomatic toolbox 4 tools: threats, blackmail, regime change, and it sort of shows, yes, okay, and from this. And then the last one is military occupation, intervention, attack, invasion. So this is what happened with the United States after 1991, after the collapse of the Soviet Union. But now Russia is where it is, so then they have to relearn that, but it's taking a while. Relearn to negotiate, to give and take, not only to take and give orders. And it's hard, because once you're used to that, it's hard to come from a better job to from a bigger office to a smaller office, or from a higher position to a lower one. It's always easy to go up, but it's always hard to go down and back. So same here. In United States, that's why we still have garbage what we have, because United States, I'm gonna make my point when I said garbage as we have, because United States is still fighting, doesn't want to lose the 32 years from 1991 to 2023, right? 32 years of being the boss on this planet, and now is losing it to Russia in Ukraine, is going to lose it to the rest of the world, I'm guessing, in Saudi, in Israel, Gaza. Well, the prize is Iran. They will not dare to attack Iran and fight with them. And then they got China, who's going to challenge them, obviously, in Taiwan. They're going to have the woodchuck, who the situation is one step, and the woodchuck said he's going to use nuclear weapons, which is the North Koreans. So all these crazies, they have the same common denominator, Al Capone. And you tell me that Al Capone has nothing to do with this, all this? You have the Balkans as well. And, you got now Venezuela. They tried to invade Venezuela for the oil, obviously. They have Armenia and Azerbaijan. But first they have to take Georgia in order to get Armenia, because Armenia is surrounded by friends. So the situation is garbage. So they have to start negotiating, and they don't know how to negotiate. First, they don't have this. I'm talking about Blinken and Victoria Nuland. These guys are thugs. That's what they are. And Blinken, I think, is a little bit very soft here. Victoria Nuland, I think she's sneaky by nature. And Blinken is just... Have you seen his reaction when Biden said that? He answered that Xi Jinping of China is the dictator. I made a video and he was sitting down and like... It hurts him. Now, that's not a diplomat. It hurts him. He's like... Dies. He died on film. He died right there. And for me, that told me that he has humanity, a lot of it. He's not good for the job. I don't think he's good for the job here. I don't think he's good for the job with that. I don't think he's good for the job with that. I actually think he's quite a sensitive guy, because when he did that, I was like, holy moly, this guy really was thinking ahead. Don't do that. We're going to have a lot of work to do. Jesus Christ, to destroy everything I built. If they built, and they built this, but still went down. So this guy, Mohammed bin Salman, showed who is more important. And they shook hands, they went around, they smiled. Have you seen Mohammed bin Salman beating Biden? Have you seen them? There's nothing like that. Or any other one. But this is Putin after all. And remember, they went over there and they decided to keep the oil production still low. And they're gonna try to put pressure on OPEC to keep it low. What does that mean? Big demand, small supply, the prices shoot up the roof. So you don't have to sell a lot of product and get more money. I do less work for more money. I sell less oil and I get more money. Well, we'll see. And the United States cannot bombard the OPEC because it's Russia over there. So, bye-bye. And the petrodollar is threatened because of Russia. Again, OPEC. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Big. And the Brits, I'm saying this not to insult you guys from Great Britain, from whomever you watch, but you've been gone since 1945. That's when it was the bankrupt. That's when you lost the colonies. After that, all garbage. You're lost, but you still think you have it. You don't. Better than Romania or Albania. Yeah, you're stronger than those guys, I have to admit. But I don't think you're but that's my assessment, and it's no insult meant. You're not an A force on this planet. You are with regime change, with covert operations, with people that you know, with financial institutions. So like a weasel, you still have all those things, the connections are there. But militarily or economically, no. And I'm sorry to say that. The guys that are over there are United States of America, obviously, China, to a certain extent, Russia, India is getting there. I don't know for Brazil, but Brazil, no, it's far away. But the problem is, Great Britain was right here, and right now is right here, but they still think they're over there. And it's a bad mistake. That's how you get knocked out, when you think you still got it, and you're 68. You had it in your 20s and 30s, but you're 68 right now. Thank you very much for being with me again today. They showed you. They showed who? Mohammed bin Salman. Imagine if this would have happened in 1944, 45, even in 1950s, 60s, Saudi Arabia to snub Great Britain, they would have a regime change right there if the Americans would have allowed. But look at some pictures of Riyadh from 1970 or 80 or 60 and compare it with now, for instance, and you see something different. How? Some people were allowed, that's the word, to sell their oil. Now, if those guys would have said, no, we take over and we sell your oil, which is ours, and you just, do what you've been doing, now that's colonialism. Do you think they did it? Well, if they did it, why didn't they stay the same way? And everybody else would be where they were. Like China in 1970s. Look how 80 when they started, these guys investing over there. Look where China was in 1980. I super dare you. Go and look at Shanghai in 1980 and look at or 1979 and look at Shanghai right now. And it's not because China all of a sudden decided that we're going to change. It was the investments. And put these guys to work and so on. If these guys would have just used them like colonizers, these guys would have been almost there. No transfer of technology, no investment in anything infrastructure, just take what we need, sell it to our guys here. We live in Pampas and you guys live in I don't know where. And you have many examples. And now you have what? South Korea or even Japan or China threatening the West? What the fuck are you talking about? Well, you got traders, and those traders allowed capital to go and invest. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.